Welcome to Success from Scratch, your place for innovation, creativity, and the blueprint of success from peak performers just like you. Welcome to Success from Scratch, episode number 29, with my two special guests today, Nita Advani and Kristine Edens.
Hi.
Welcome.
Thank you.
So glad you're here.
Thanks for having us.
And what I'm really excited about, because you were newer agents with JPAR, and we're going to talk about how you went through the mentorship program and how that propelled you to be successful faster than if you were just left on your own.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So before we do that, Nita, tell us a little bit about you and your background and the primary markets that you serve.
Sure, Mark. Well, originally before I started real estate, I was in corporate marketing for about 15 years and event planning. So I worked for some major corporations such as PepsiCo, Warner Brothers, even Mary Kay right here at Mary Kay Corporate. Yeah, it was great. And I slowly realized that real estate is where I wanted to be. And so I got into it, and I service Frisco, Plano, Prosper, McKinney, Allen, all that northern Dallas area.
Yeah, great growth and expansion. Those
Absolutely.
Yeah. How about yourself?
I was a physical therapist for about 15 years before going into real estate. And I had a light bulb moment one day that what am I going to do when I get older? Because I can't keep lifting people and doing this type of physical work.
Right.
When I get older, I was like, what am I going to do that I can carry myself through and keep working? So I love remodeling and decorating in homes and touring homes, looking at homes. Even when I'm not buying a home, I was always looking at homes. I'm like, real estate.
Right.
So I had a couple of friends that were realtors and talked to them about it, and they said, go for it. So I did.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So Nita, your business is more traditional, helping buyers and sellers or investors.
Absolutely. Working with first-time home buyers, working with people that are looking to downsize or just need more extra space, pretty much every aspect of wherever they are in their life.
Interesting. Your business is more rehab and helping investors on the rehabilitation side. Is that true?
Yes. I do a little bit of the traditional buy and sell, but then a good portion of my business is also rehabbing homes and working with investors.
Yeah.
And I am one myself, so.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Now, both of you went through, when you got into real estate, it had to be scary.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Was it hard making that, Nita, like that first step?
Absolutely. I walked into the office one day and talked to my supervisor that day, and I said, I'm quitting. And I had been talking about real estate for 15 years with my family and my husband, and one day he was just like, what do you have to lose? Nothing, just do it. And I literally walked into my office one day and I quit, and the next day I started studying for the real estate exam.
Wow, good for you.
Yeah, it was just 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, so you took action, you had a vision, and took action immediately.
Absolutely, yeah. I think the vision was always there, just jumping into it was very scary. But once you do it and realize the water is not so cold and it's actually lukewarm, you feel better.
So was it the fear?
Absolutely.
Was it the fear that held you back that 15 years?
Yes, it was the fear of not having a steady income, which I've always had. Not having that paycheck on a weekly basis that I've always had. That was the scariest part.
And your husband actually said, well, what do you have to lose?
Right.
And that was the trigger that...
Yes. He said, one day we won't be here. And then I don't want you to look back and say I should have or I could have. And the next day I just said, that's it, I'm done.
You didn't want to look back and have a regret.
Absolutely.
Cool. That's awesome for the audience to hear that.
Yeah.
How about house? Was it scary for you?
Tremendous. I think I wasn't ready to jump in with both feet like she did.
So how did you get through that fear?
It was really through other realtors and a connection I had and a friendship I had with them. And we talked a lot at great lengths about it, and I knew I wanted to do it. It was just taking that step to do it, and letting go of a lot of the securities that, she mentioned. And so I had a friend of mine who was an agent with JP, and she said, do it, go to school. And she said, don't look anywhere else but JP. She said, sign on with JP. Don't even look anywhere else.
Just go forward.
Just go forward. And I did. I did.
Good.
So,
And so you come in and you get your license when we signed you a mentor.
right.
And your mentor was responsible for helping you get through your first 3 transactions.
Correct.
And tell us a little bit about that, Kristine, first from your experience.
Uh,
How was the mentorship program for you?
It was incredible experience. My mentor was incredibly awesome. You know, they're all seasoned, and
Right.
you know they're already producers themselves, so
Right.
you know that you're going to succeed.
Right.
And they're there day or night. You know, call me, talk to me. Let's go have lunch.
Right.
Let's get to know each other. How can I help you? What can I do for you?
Right.
I've never heard of any other program that offers that hand holding and
Right.
that development that you need in order to take that step and feel confident in yourself
Right.
and present yourself. You have to present yourself confident to your client.
Mm-hmm.
And so when you have that mentor behind you and you know they're there, you got that confidence to
that
deal
you
with
had
it.
the confidence to be able
Yeah.
to, because you're already in a lot of fear anyway, so
Right.
that confidence helped you move forward.
Exactly.
So Nita, how about for you?
Absolutely. I remember when I first started and I had my first offer to submit. It was about a couple of months within being an agent. And I remember my mentor was on the phone with me at 10 p.m. at night because we had to submit an offer by the morning. And we went through, even though you learn the 1-to-4 contract in the classroom, you learn it. But when it's in front of you and you're filling in those numbers, it's quite scary. Right. And I remember, it was 10 p.m., so obviously she was in her house, I was in my house. We went through every line, every page. It took us a couple of hours, but she stayed with me throughout that whole conversation. We went through everything. It made me feel a lot better.
And that gave you the confidence
Absolutely.
to move forward. So do you feel that if you didn't have that support, would it have taken you a lot longer to get to your first transaction?
Absolutely. Absolutely, yeah.
So to get to your first transaction was what I think you said, maybe
I believe about 2.5, 3 months,
2.5
somewhere
to 3
there.
months. And how about for you? About
Yeah,
the
it was
same?
about the same.
Yeah.
Yes, it was in the first 2 or 3 months.
So without that support, would you maybe think it would be double that maybe, or who knows?
Easy.
Yeah.
Easily,
Easy.
yeah.
Because they also help you to get yourself out there and how to do it, to get that lead.
And
so you can
tips.
have that transaction.
And tips. I remember she sat with us and went through certain tips with us of how to get leads and how to generate leads and to be organized as well.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
good.
not just writing the contract, it goes well beyond that.
Absolutely.
Well beyond that.
Well
And
beyond
I
it.
wish you would have started now, because now we have what we call the real estate playbook. And the real estate playbook helps the mentor expand the curriculum for business mastery, personal mastery, and 2 modules on marketing mastery. That's all on video recorded. It's amazing. So if you haven't seen that, I'm going to make sure you get connected to our real estate playbook.
Definitely.
So let's go into, now you've been in the business about 2 years.
Right.
Tell us each about your business now versus when you started. Like, what's your goal, Nita, for the rest of the year?
My goal every year is 12 transactions. I think that is a good goal to keep. That way, you know, if you don't end up there, you're like, okay, I have another goal to set for next year. I'm about 8 in, I think, now, and I've got another 4 to go, which is now 4 months. So, like, I think for me, what works is if I can do 1 transaction a month without overwhelming myself, and that way, I'm not on a team. I've always looked into a team, but then I fall back and I say, I'm pretty happy being on my own right now. So, but later on, you never know how things can change and business can change. You have to be resilient, right? But that's my goal for every year.
So for you, with a family of 2, and
Correct.
that, 12 for you is success.
To me, is success.
Yeah,
yes.
that's awesome. Good.
Yeah. I think I'm happy about the same since I started. It was always about 12 transactions. You know, can I beat it next year? I'll try. And then when I got into the investor side of it, you know, it kind of changed into, okay, how many transactions can I do? But then how many houses can I have going at the same time? And so my goal is to always try to have at least 3 houses under rehab at different stages, as well as trying to get those 6 to 8 to 12 traditional
sales.
sales
So that's
as
success
well.
for you.
So that's success for me. So on both sides. Yeah.
Well, good.
Yeah.
Well, so as we wrap up, I'd like to hear maybe from each one of you at least one practice, one habit, one tip for the audience around your daily routine, a system you use, anything like that helps you stay either consistent or drives your business?
Every evening before I go to bed, I make a list of what I need to do in the morning. I think as an agent, we don't have set schedules, and we don't have set, a list of nobody's giving you a list of things to do. Right. You're making that list, you're executing yourself, you're doing A to Z. You're doing the networking, you're doing the marketing. Yeah, you may delegate some of the services that you have, but if it's not you being on top of those things, they can fall apart really easily. So right before I go to bed, I always make a list of all the things that need to be done, and that could include personal errands, right. That could include calling this one, or confirming an appointment, or anything to that effect. I think that definitely helps me, because when I get up, I have a list of things already set there for me to do. And I didn't do that my first year. I was doing well. Right. I was doing well, but I was all over the place. I think this year, putting that list together, and I know it's a really small thing, but I think that's helped me a lot.
Yeah, I think it's a big thing. Can we call it the daily action checklist?
Yeah, absolutely.
Basically, you're creating the daily action checklist.
Yes, we can call it that.
Yeah, the daily action checklist that keeps you focused for that day. That's amazing. So you can win the day.
Yes.
Win each day, you win the week, you win the month, you win the quarter, win the year.
Absolutely.
Yeah, awesome. How about for you?
Continually be of service.
It's one of our values.
Right.
Productivity and service is one of our values.
Right. So continue to always be of service, and remember to always be of service first. Yeah. Because when you are helpful to people and you provide a value to them, you're creating a relationship with them. Right. And from that relationship and you develop the trust. Right. And from that relationship and that trust and that service, they're going to remember you, they're going to use you, and they're going to refer you. So for me, it's always remember to be of service first.
Yeah, serving the client's needs above your own.
And create that relationship. Yeah.
Well, that's awesome. Well, I'm so glad that you all were able to come and spend some time and share with our audience your journey. And so I think you'll get lots of great feedback from this, and the audience will get lots of value. So we'll see you soon on another episode of Success from Scratch.